coming up next on the Ugo Lord Show.
It's the sneak peek that has over 2.5 million views.
I have been doing drugs since like maybe 5th grade. Before I knew it, I was dancing at a strip club. When I was 14, I got arrested the first time for stealing a car.
It's the episode you've all been waiting for. When you were lying in jail for the first time, after getting caught stealing a car, after getting into a car accident with that stolen car, as you were lying there, what was going through your mind? It is the most shocking, honest, and inspiring interview I've ever done. Find out what happens on the next episode of the Ugo Lord Show. From the Las Vegas Strip to the Big Apple and even to Africa, I've traveled around the world to find brave young adults who have faced unimaginable challenges in their lives. If they can face their demons, you can too. Remember, it is never too late to take control of your life and create your best possible future. Join me and let's take this journey together. This is the Ugo Lord Show.
Hello, my name is Jackie Mack, and this is a little bit about myself. I was born in Dayton, Ohio, and then right when I was a baby, when I was like 1, I moved to St. Louis, and I lived in the inner city parts of St. Louis, Missouri. And pretty much there, it was just pretty much you had to fight to live. Basically, it was just a simple mentality there. It was just very confrontational and extremely aggressive all the time. So dealing with that pretty much made me how I am today, and that pretty much influenced the choices I made, you know, when I finally got into high school. Freshman year was my first arrest. I got arrested when I was 14 doing some crazy stuff with my friends. I stole a car, and then basically I stole the car, and then a guy ran a red light and inside like T-boned us, and that's how I got caught. At the end of the day, it was a lesson learned because I spent the night in jail that night. My sisters saw me in handcuffs, which was really dramatic for them. I have 2 younger sisters that look up to me, and they were like crying and all that stuff. And I didn't get to play basketball for the rest of the season because I was on the basketball team as well. That lesson kind of taught me a lot because I took it really serious, and my parents were really involved in that because I came in like a really like strict, religious upbringing, so that was really out of character for me. But that was just me kind of rebelling and just kind of just wilding out, just like I don't care. My parents were really strict, so I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, and sneaking out, stealing cars, and making money for it was fun to me, so that's what I was doing.
At the young age of 14, Jackie began making money by stealing cars. But as she described, it all one day came to a screeching halt. I invited Jackie into my home and listened as she described to me her first major wake-up call. At the age of 14, you stole a car. Was that the first time that you stole a car, or the first time that you got caught?
That was the first time I got caught, but we had done it plenty of times and we had never gotten caught. So at that point, I had gotten a little arrogant with it. Basically, I was like, okay, I can do whatever because I'm not getting caught, you know. And then once I realized that I was putting myself and other people in danger when I got in that accident, it kind of woke me up, and that was the last time I stole a car.
Was that the wake-up call you needed to change your life?
At that point, I was still stupid. So in my eyes, I was saying, oh, I need to find another hustle. Not necessarily I need to change my life, because at the end of the day, I knew I needed to make money. So I was just like, okay, that didn't work out because I got caught, and you can go to jail for that. And since I was 14, I got really lucky. But if I was older, I would have served time like easy. But since I was 14 and it was my first arrest, they let me go. I only did like 1 night. So yeah, but at that time I was still stupid. I was just like, okay, what's the next hustle gonna be?
When you were lying in jail for the first time, after getting caught stealing a car, after getting into a car accident with that stolen car, as you were lying there, what was going through your mind?
It was definitely a mind-opening experience because I was like, wow, I'm actually in jail, I'm in a cell, and I can't leave until they let me, you know. That was crazy. And it was only me. My friends got to go home, you know. Since I was a driver, I had to serve the time, so.
You all stole the car together. But because you were driving,
I had to serve the time, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I got charged with everything. They got to walk.
You're kidding. What did you realize from that experience?
It kind of makes you realize that at the end of the day, you only have yourself. Like, your friends are just in it for the joyride, and, you know, you're held responsible for your actions with your friends or without your friends. So yeah, that just made me realize that friends just come and go because we're not even friends anymore anyway. So
I couldn't agree with you more. You know you're in good company when the people that surround you during the good times are also there during the rough times. So you ended up leaving the inner city and moving to Las Vegas, Nevada. What was that transition like for you?
Terrible. I absolutely hated Vegas. I hated the high school that I went to because in St. Louis I went to an all-black high school. So the culture, everything was just different. And I moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, and I went to an all-white school, an all-white upper middle class school at that. So it was rich kids, it was a bunch of white kids, and then the black kids that I did see, they were super preppy and just like irritating at that time. But at that time I didn't realize how small-minded I was. There's something like, when you live in the inner city, everyone thinks the same way, and they don't really escape from that way of thinking. It's like a mentality. And pretty much when I moved out of that, it was hard to adjust, but I was forced to because I was there every day. I was in school every day. So once I opened up my mind and like learned about different cultures, started hanging out with white kids, hanging out with Asian kids, and all that stuff, it made me such more of a well-rounded person. And I think that I would never regret moving here.
Whenever anyone is placed in a new environment, there are always two options. You can either accept that environment or you can reject it. When you moved to Las Vegas, how did you react to it?
I was definitely on the rejecting phase. Within the first couple of days I was at Green Valley, I was already hanging out with kids that did drugs and everything. So I was just like, you know, F school, I'm just gonna do me and just keep in the same pattern that I was back home in St. Louis.
Back in St. Louis, Jackie found herself in what she described as surrounded by the wrong group of friends, making all the wrong decisions.
Okay, I'll just say this. I started doing drugs when I was like 5th grade, period. If you do drugs, there's a certain group of people that do drugs. And that group of people pretty much do the same thing. And I don't know if that makes sense, but basically if you're hanging out with kids that do drugs, they break the law and they party. It's all one thing in common. And you'll notice that, like, think about it. Do all your friends all smoke weed? It's because you smoke weed and you guys all do it. So it's not a coincidence. It's just those kind of people hang out with each other. So one thing to notice is your surroundings and who you're hanging out with. That'll give you a lot of answers. So partying, yes, I partied a lot of partying, and with partying comes experimenting. And that's when you experiment into different drugs, doing things that you didn't plan on doing. Everything starts off innocent. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to a party tonight. And then before you know it, you're doing some wild stuff that you had no intentions on doing. And after a while you stop caring because you've broken your own morals so many times that you kind of just like lose yourself in it. And then that's when you hit rock bottom, you crash, end up getting a DUI or arrested, or something happens big that kind of like shakes you up and like, oh whoa, kind of like brings you out of it. And a lot of times some kids, it's too late, they end up dying, you know, and you don't want to wait until it's too late to realize that you're kind of going down the wrong path. But most of the time, our generation, we don't listen, so it kind of just happens like that.
When you moved to Las Vegas, did you get into any trouble or was it smooth sailing all the way?
I definitely got into a lot of trouble in Vegas. No, I wish. I wish I was just done, but it's just, I don't know, I think I don't know what it is with me. But yeah, I definitely got in trouble in Vegas. Let's see, when junior year, of course I had that money thing, so the biggest money out here was strip clubs, and one of the girls from school did it, and she was like, just come with me and try it out. Before I knew it, I was dancing at a strip club, and that was like when I was 17. Then I did that for a little bit, on and off, whatever.
Did you do it for the attention, or was it just to make money?
It was just like seriously to make money, so I didn't really care about too much about it, you know, so like when it came time for me to quit, I didn't really care to quit because I never liked it in the first place. It was seriously just to make money. But after that, then I was like, okay, nah, because my parents were starting to catch on, so I quit and then got 2 jobs. So then I was working 2 jobs and then still doing school, and then some kind of way I got back into dancing after high school, and then that's when I got my DUI, and yeah, it was just my DUI. That's like the biggest trouble I got in. But then I had like smaller charges like possession of drugs and stuff in my car and stuff like that.
Tell me about the DUI. Was there a party that you went to and just drank too much?
No, actually I wasn't even drunk. And I got the DUI the next morning. So what happened was, it wasn't even alcohol, like it was me experimenting with drugs again. So there were Xanax bars or Xanax, those ones, whatever. And it was my first time, and of course, I'm hanging out with these girls that do them really heavy. They're like, oh, I can take 10 and da-da-da. I was like, okay, well, I'll just take 3. That should be fine. Like, they're like, oh yeah, you'll be fine. Took 3. We chilled at her house, really didn't do anything. The next morning, I woke up. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. I was like, all right, I'm fine. I'm going to go back home, you know, the night's over. And that's when the DUI happened. It was like 10 in the morning, and I hit like 3 parked cars and stuff like that. And then I kept driving, but I don't even remember the accident, like, altogether. I didn't start sobering up until after I was in jail. Like,
What is it like when you're sobering up, you look around, and then you realize you're in jail?
well, I was just irritated. I was in the cell. It was freezing cold, and I didn't even know what I did. So I'm banging on the window trying to get the officers, you know, attention. Like, what did I do? Why am I here? Where are my friends at? You know, is there a number I can call? Like, I don't understand. She read off my charges and all this dumb stuff that I had did, because I guess I hit 3 cars and I kept running from the cops, and like I was like belligerent to the cops or whatever. So I had all these charges, and then that's when I broke down, because I was like, what? Like, really? I just thought it was so stupid. Like, such a stupid crime, such a stupid thing for me to do. It's just like, and this is like after a period when I was doing really good. I was working my 2 jobs. I had moved out of my parents' house, so I had my job, I had my own place, started my classes, you know, I was on a good path, and then I had this one questionable night where I was like, oh, I'll try it out, and before I knew it, I was in jail. So I was like really, really, really disappointed in myself, and I was super embarrassed because I had to call my parents to pick me up from jail, ended up losing my apartment, having to move back in with my parents, which sucks when you move back in, and yeah, so it was terrible.
There's a popular saying that says, in order to climb a mountain, you have to go through the peaks and valleys. I imagine that for you, that DUI was a very low valley.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the lower points, and it was a long peak, long valley. That was a long period of time. Like, it took a while to get over that one and move past that one, because consequences. You have court dates after. It's not like you DUI and you're done. You have court dates. They make you do classes, and a lot of money you have to pay as well. So,
tell me about the turning point in your life.
I think my turning point was pretty much when I quit dancing, and that was after I got my DUI. I had all those tickets, so I went back dancing just to pay them off. After that, my mom found out, and when she found out, it broke her heart. Like, it literally broke her heart. That was something she told me. She was like, you know, I raised you to be your best, and you're gonna tell me you're doing this, you know. And it was just like, it kind of puts stuff in perspective, because based off of how I was raised, there's no excuse for me to be in a strip club, period. There's nothing my parents told me that would make that okay. There's nothing that they instilled in me to make me even comfortable with that environment. There's nothing in my upbringing where I would even belong there, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it kind of woke me up. It was just like, I'm really tripping. Like, I'm just going with the flow, just living life with my eyes closed, basically, and just kind of just like letting anything influence me and just going with it.
After breaking the news to her parents, Jackie made a commitment to turn her life around. But in order to do so, she had to admit to herself her greatest obstacle.
My biggest obstacle has been probably myself. No, like, my biggest obstacle is probably money. I have a thing with money because I grew up really poor. That's why I ended up selling drugs, stealing cars. I ended up in a strip club, you know, don't be a stripper, that's bad too. But yeah, money is like a problem. It's always been a problem. I'm addicted to it. I love to get it, but you have to do it the right way, and you have to do it the smart way. My dad always told me you could do what's easy or you can do what's right. And I was always choosing the easy way to get money, and there's a right way to get it. And the right way to get money, it lasts a lot longer than the easy way, either way, so.
Looking back at your life, Jackie, you've certainly come a long way. You have such an incredible story, and I'm so extremely proud for the turn that you've made in your life. Tell me, knowing everything that you know now, what would you tell your younger self?
I definitely would tell my younger self to be patient. Be patient. That's been my biggest problem. I feel like I just have to do something. I have to be doing something. So just be patient. Listen to my parents. Let them cover me. Let them do their job. You know, and really just be patient. Don't be in a rush to grow up so fast. And I feel like that's my whole childhood was me trying to grow up too fast, and I just felt like burdened because my parents really didn't have enough money at the end of the day, like, period. So I don't know why I always carried that on me. As I was the oldest in the house, so I carried it on me, and I just took that responsibility way too early, and I was going about it the wrong way. So I would just tell myself to be patient, and make smart choices, and then do what's right. Do what's right, I think.
Today, Jackie is listening to her father's advice. She is doing what is right. She now attends college, where she's enrolled full-time while working her part-time job. She is also a rising star, pursuing her dreams as a singer and songwriter. And she left me with this.
Find something you love no matter what it is, no matter what people think about it. Find something you love and put all your time and energy in that. Follow your dream. Don't waste your time hanging out, kicking it, like if there's a day like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to my friend's house, what are you benefiting out of that? Make your time valuable. Realize that what you're doing in your younger years is gonna determine where you are when you're like 25, 26. So if you want a nice house, if you want to be on your own, running your own business, those decisions are all based off of what you do in high school. So the habits you set while you're from your freshman year to your senior year, those habits you set are going to play out for the rest of your life. So if you don't make good habits at a young age, you're going to be screwed, and it's going to be really hard you're going to be doing what I'm doing, trying to get back into doing the right thing, and it's really, really difficult, and not everybody can do it. So I would say my biggest advice, find something you love, dedicate your all to it, and then listen to your parents and just follow the people that are around you. Also hang around people that are doing what you want to do. So for instance, if you want to be like a singer or a rapper or a dancer, hang out with some kids that are already doing that and that are already climbing that ladder, and then you'll find your way.
Jackie is incredibly brave and took control of her future. Now on a road towards success, her wake-up call may have saved her life. Always remember that it is never too late to make the right decisions. Thank you for watching the Ugo Lord Show.